Trump is still sitting down with Vladimir Putin. Experts warn that the Russian president, who is a former KGB officer, will use every trick in the book to sway Trump at the summit. Let's bring in former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. It's great to see you, Secretary. Thank you for
great to be
joining
with
us.
you.
I'm curious, if you were still Secretary of State, how would you have prepared President Trump for this meeting?
Jessica, I think precisely the way we've seen this happen. President Trump didn't run into this negotiation willy-nilly. He's been in office 6 months now. Take a look at the weakness that has been inflicted, or the pain that has been inflicted on Vladimir Putin in just those 6 months. Russia lost its proxy force in Syria, Assad, who they've been backing for years. Energy prices are now greatly decreased. A primary source of revenue for Vladimir Putin is selling crude oil and natural gas resource economy. The Europeans, now stronger than ever, committed to spending 5% of their GDP. Ukraine still continuing to defend. They've lost very little territory. Putin's been frustrated all along the way. President Trump has laid out a series of strategic objectives for the Russian people to see and witness the pain. And now Vladimir Putin's having to draft North Korean soldiers to go fight this war. I think he set the conditions for this meeting in an incredibly powerful way and has most of the leverage at this meeting.
Mr. Secretary, Will Cain here. We'd love for you to answer what we think is maybe the biggest mystery right now is what is happening right now with these two men in this room. And you know President Trump, you've been inside these rooms. Is there downtime? Are they talking about things outside of tense negotiations for 2 hours and 42 minutes at this point? What is happening as we speak?
Well, I doubt there's any downtime. I never saw President Trump ask for a break from a meeting. My guess is these have been intense conversations, but President Trump and frankly, Vladimir Putin, too, they both have a humorous, charming side to them when they want to convince the other side that they're actually good folks, right? So I'm sure there's some of that. But these two leaders, and I know all the people in the room on our side and on theirs, it's the two leaders conducting this conversation. There'll be a little support and backup from the teams, but they're having intense conversations, testing, probing, seeing where progress can be made, and then beginning, I hope, to outline a path forward where you don't have the Russians continuing to lob missiles into Kyiv and them continuing to take Ukrainian kids out of the clutches of their parents and dragging them back into Russia.
Mr. Secretary, great to see you. We should also note that you were also the director of the CIA, so you know the KGB very well. But I found the president speaking with Bret Baier today when he said he's bringing a lot of business people from Russia talking to Putin. Then you look at the people that President Trump is bringing, Treasury Secretary, Commerce Secretary. Is this beyond just, spycraft and national security and foreign policy? And is that a new tactic the president is using this time around in these negotiations, or is this something that you think he's brought from his first term in dealing with Putin?
Katie, this is an important question. President Trump always reminded me, economies matter, money matters. Vladimir Putin is feeling that very economic pain. And so I am confident President Trump is laying out a roadmap for Putin, saying, look, if you agree to a ceasefire and then we get a security architecture, then there's an opportunity for you to rejoin the Western commercial world on America's terms, on terms that work for the United States of America. And so Putin's bringing his business people. You see Secretary of Treasury sitting there. In the end, Putin will continue to fight until his economy can no longer withstand it. That will be the thing that will draw him ultimately to bring this to a conclusion. There's little else. He doesn't care about his soldiers. He doesn't care about their families. He cares about himself and the oligarchs in Russia. That's about money and economics. And I think that's why you see this conversation extending beyond just maps and geography, but all the way through how is it these two economies might work together if Putin is willing to actually concede that he's going to lose this thing.
Secretary Pompeo, thank you so much for your insights. It was great to see you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.